Hey guys, how's it going? So today is going to be a little bit of a different video from what I've been doing the last few months actually. It's actually going to be introducing my new car that I got. Not really, in the last couple of weeks I got a new car, but this was in December that I got a new car. If you guys haven't seen my video before that I posted about my 370Z that I had, beautiful car. I'll have a video of it in the description below so you can check it out, what I used to have. Just the story behind why I ended up getting a new car in December actually, on a dark and snowy day. Basically what happened was I was on my way to work. It was about maybe 6 o'clock in the evening. I basically go the same route I go to work, and there's a four-way intersection, all stop signs in an industrial area, about maybe a 30 to 40 mile an hour speed limit. I think 40 miles an hour was the speed limit there. So basically, I come to my stop, there was no cars. So of course there's no cars around, then you proceed forward like normal. But then out of nowhere, a lady that was on the left side coming this way, it's probably reversed if you're seeing it, but anyway, a lady hit me on the left going about 30 miles an hour right into the side of my 370Z. So I did have airbag deployment. I was all right. I was pretty banged up, but didn't have to go to the hospital. Thankful for that. But ended up totaling the car. So I kind of, I was just devastated at the fact, this thing was my baby. I've had it for years, and sad to see it go just because of somebody's negligence. The important thing is, when it comes to bad weather conditions, and you have to be alert at all times. Basically, the police, they did the investigation, and even though the lady was not saying that she ran a stop sign, she actually did. And due to the force of the impact, they were able to figure out that it was a full-on hit. She hit me pretty hard. I was right in the smack dab in the middle of that intersection before I got hit on the left side of the car. So it's unfortunate, but thankful to be alive in that case. And you get some good out of it. So I ended up upgrading my car to an Infiniti Q50 Sport model. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys, this thing. I mean, I love it. The only thing I will just mention right off the bat, I hate the fact that it's an automatic. I've been driving stick for years. So I still have the faint clutch syndrome. I still try to put it in first, but I'm like, wait, it's an automatic. That's the one thing that's kind of annoying. But the future, it's always going to have new beginnings. I can always get a new Z again. The important thing is you can always get that material thing back. The important thing is your being. There's only one of you. So just kind of little story there. But I'll go ahead and show you guys a little bit of what the car looks like on the inside and outside. So here's the outside of the car. Of course, I kept the Russian plate. You got to do that. And then I have the red accent there that I did myself on the sport bumper. The car is really cool. It comes with, being the sport package, it is going to come with those Akebono calipers. Those things are monsters. This is the all stock rotors and pads, and it still just bites really hard. You can see I have my Nismo wheels on there, which they fit just fine. But definitely, again, you'll hear me mention in the video, there's a little poke on that rear wheel, which I got plans to change it up. I just happen to have these tires and setups and everything, so I didn't want to go to waste. But it gives the back a really meaty look. I did a vinyl wrap too of the chrome in the back, along with putting the carbon fiber trunklet there, so it just gives it a really cool look to it. Definitely was really happy with that. Turned out great. Stuck on a lot of 3M on that. But yeah, you kind of get a bit of the inside, and I mean, the car just overall is really beautiful. So here we got this awesome cluster here, so a little bit different from what the Z looked like. This one does have a whole range of modes. It has, let's see what we got here: personal, sport, standard, eco for gas, and snow. So the snow one's interesting. It actually starts the car in second gear when you take off, so that's kind of cool. Very cool infotainment system, a lot of cool features. touch screen. The one thing I like here is the driving performance, where you can basically have it set up to where it shows like your G-force meters, your fuel flow, fuel consumption, and there's different kinds here. So this kind of almost gives it like that GTR-esque look, you know, and especially with the steering and everything. Like when you're driving, it'll tell you how many G-forces you are when you're cornering. Then you got your navigation system, and then right now, you know, I just upgraded for safety reasons, a dash cam and just a radar, of course. And then here's what the inside is looking like. So there's the shift boot. I did this little piece of carbon fiber here. I did a wrap here myself as well because they had this gray that I wasn't too fond of. But I mean, this is definitely, in terms of tech, it's a huge upgrade from what I had in the Z. The Z I had was a base model with some mods and everything, and then here's the sunroof, and then the controls for the lights and the sunroof, and then the Euro mirror. Can't beat that. And then the wheel, and then I also did a little bit of a carbon fiber wrap on that as well. But now we'll go ahead and take a look outside on the car, and then I'll kind of do some driving for you as well, just to kind of show you how it all goes. So hope you guys enjoy that bit. So the one cool thing with this car too is, you know, being that it's automatic, I don't know a whole lot about Infinitis. You know, I've been mainly into Nissans and everything, but this is just a luxury Nissan, basically, is what I look at it as. It has the sequential shifter option here. So, you know, of course, I still get into the habit of manual, and, you know, the fact that it engine brakes on its own and everything. You know, so I kind of just went straight with, you know, always using these. They also have the shift paddles here as well, which is kind of nice. So you could do it either or. You know, obviously coming from a stick shift, I'd prefer it to be near my hand here. So I mean, overall the ride quality is nice. Being that it is the sport model, you can feel a little bit of the stiffness on the springs. There definitely is a little bit of, you know, stiffness when it comes to rebounding. Very cool. You know, there's definitely a lot of cool mods for this car, which I plan on expanding that list probably in the coming months. I'm just waiting for it to currently just get warmer right now, so I can actually get some of those mods done, because my garage is pretty crammed with this thing when I put it in, so it gives me very limited workspace on what I can do. But the other cool thing with this is, like the Z, it comes with that option to rev match, basically when you're downshifting. You know, the only thing I dislike about it is very like jerky. You know, this is why I don't like automatics with these I think it's Tiptronic or something. Don't know exactly what they're called, but that's kind of the one thing that's a bit annoying, is it doesn't really want to go, you know, into the lower gear without, you know, shaking or some kind of, you know, like, you kind of feel a little bit of a jitter, which, you know, like, is a bit annoying. But again, it's a minor thing. Like, this car, in my opinion, you know, outweighs the Z with many other cool little quirks, I guess. And another thing to note too, this is an all-wheel drive Q50 Sport. There is a rear-wheel drive option, but, you know, I just went with the all-wheel drive just for, you know, for snow and everything, because I live in Chicago, so, you know, we get some pretty nasty winters up here at times. So this definitely grips really good when it comes to snow. And I mean, honestly, this thing is cranking out a lot of power too, right around at 332 horsepower, and I think like about 270 foot-pounds of torque. I could be off a little bit on those numbers, but it's in that vicinity for sure. So definitely puts all that power to the road when you're really just, you know, you put it in the shift mode in this car, and then, you know, you give it your go, and then I think it actually just picks up speed much quicker than if you do it in just regular drive. You know, it just, I guess the gear ratios, I don't know what happens, but maybe the sport mode engages it a little more, because the sport mode does make the transmission shift a little bit quicker. So, you know, it's very cool. It's a very cool feature. I've gotten used to just driving in sport pretty frequently. I just flick it on to sport each time, and, you know, I've been pretty happy with it. But yeah, it's definitely, you know, everything's bone stock on this thing right now. I did have some simple mods done to the Z-like, cold air intakes, exhaust. That's about it, really. I was gonna do suspension this summer, but you know, unfortunately, didn't come down to it due to that accident I had. But for the most part, you know, this thing is stock, and I mean, it still has some pull on it, that's for sure. You know, once we swap out those intakes and get a new exhaust in this bad boy, it'll let the motor breathe a little more freely, and then we'll be able to knock out a little bit more power out of this thing. But you know, that's kind of just a little cockpit view. You could probably see my little zigzag thing going here as I'm driving. So it's a really cool feature. I'm gonna just kind of like do some test pulls for you guys here in the Tiptronic mode. So if you can see, let me take a look. Okay, so basically I got my little G-force meter here, so I'm just gonna gun it real quick, just to show you guys how it sounds. You know, again, it's a stock exhaust, so don't expect to really be surprised by anything. Just making sure there's no cops, and then we're gonna do it right now. Ooh, yeah, holy shit. And then those sport brakes, man, they bite like freaking hell, man. Damn, that really has you at the edge of your damn seat, man. That sucks you in so freaking hard. And keep in mind, this is out of the factory. And it's just this badass and this freaking aggressive. It's really cool, you know. Granted, you know, with the stick shift, you definitely get a little bit more, like, you just feel like you get the most torque out of your car, and it just really, you know, I mean, I guess with an auto, like, if I had my Z right now to compare to this, you know, that'd be a very cool comparison video. But you know, for this, it's kind of unfortunate for the situation. But I'll go ahead and show you guys the actual dash too, while I'm shifting. And you guys probably saw that G-force meter probably spike up. I wasn't really looking, but yeah, we'll show you some outside shots of me driving. So you can kind of hear I mean, you're gonna hear mainly the motor. Exhaust is very minimal. You know, the tone is very mild on it. Again, it's stock, so we'll show you that piece of it. Okay, I'm gonna do my very best to hold this and do it. So you can see I have, you know, just an empty road, so there's really no cars around. So again, I'm gonna do it in the sport mode, in the manual mode as well, and I'm just gonna do a quick little pull for you guys. So let's get ready. And then those sport brakes, you can really feel them bastards bite, man. Oh my goodness. Oh, it might have got a little shaky there, so sorry about that. But yeah, holy shit.